Hey, TikTok. Welcome back to Mindful Nuggets here at Michelle On Demand, where my co-host, Mr. William Goodwin, and I come out every single Monday at 11:30. And we come live here to speak with you, give you some leadership, some nutrition, and together that gives you mindful nuggets. So let me go ahead and bring him up. I know he's here because I saw him. There we go. I see you. I see. Good morning, everyone here on TikTok. How is everyone this morning? I see. Good morning, everyone here on TikTok. How is everyone this morning? We may not have too many people today because I'm sure everybody is watching the inauguration, but that's all right. We're now going out. I can see us going out. So it just takes a little bit, I'm sure. So how are you this morning, Mr. William?
I'm blessed. I'm well. And I'm breathing. Good health. So, yeah, I'm doing great.
That is what matters. That is what matters. All right. There's got to be a way to put us, expand both. How do we do that? Expand one spot first. Okay, I'll confirm that.
Whoop, I went away. What happened?
Lose you? Oh, there you go. Okay, then it says I can expand both of us. So how do I do that? So I'm learning here. I'm taking a learning lesson today. How do I do that? All right.
I didn't realize the inauguration was going on.
Yeah,
I just saw where Biden pardoned his entire family.
I was gonna say I did not notice that either, so I did not pay attention either. So, all right, okay. So
Hey, that's all right.
Lift my table.
This is a beautiful thing because even if it's live, it's going to be recorded. We can still share it, and people can still benefit from this.
Absolutely right. So, welcome everyone to Mindful Nuggets, where William and I come out to you every single Monday at 11:30 a.m. We're a little early. Couple of minutes early, so we're getting everything set up here for you guys. Today, though, we continue our 7-part series on the word nourish. So our letter for today is R. And my table decided to not continue to move forward. I need to stand up. It's better. This is better on my back if I stand up. All right. Okay. So again, our letter for today is the letter R. And William, what does R stand for in our word?
Restore.
Restore. Restore and replenish. So today we're going to talk about restoring our minds, restoring our nutrition, restoring our overall health. So William, why don't you kick us off this morning and tell us what restore really means in this sense of what we're doing?
Restore means to come to a state of balance, of health and vitality. And it's just not on a physical plane either. There's four levels. We have spiritual, we have mindfulness, we have the physical body, as well as the, your soul, basically. All these things need to come into balance for neutrality.
Right.
When we come out of balance, we're consuming something. All right, it's burning fuel or burning something that we don't know what's burning. And just like anything, when you burn something, you need to resupply. So in the mindset, we burn a lot of fuel in particular.
Yes, we
do. And especially for those thinkers that are out there that really think deep, like myself, we burn a lot of calories. And it's easy for me, especially as I'm getting older, then after a little while, about 4 or 5 hours, I notice myself running out of juice. And I start getting tired and a little sluggish. So what do? Well, we go get hydrated for one. We start getting electrolytes back in our system. We start getting those necessary proteins that are fuel our mind. So we want to restore so we can continue to the front. Or, a great example is you can run a car for so long it runs out of gas or electricity. What do we have to do? We have to refuel on that. So there's a lot of R.
Let's talk about the brain for a second, because it says here that, if I'm reading this right, it is the brain uses up to 20 to 25% of the body's overall energy. So our minds are continuously burning 20 to 25% of our energy. So at the end of the day, like you were talking about, you're exhausted, right? You're tired mentally, emotionally. We're just exhausted.
Yeah. Well, and the brain also triggers the emotions too.
Right. Right.
So
let's
you
talk
only burn
about
the 25% there, but
let's talk about those emotions, and let's talk about the all of the mental aspects. So you and I were talking over the weekend, and TikTok went down, right? It went down. It went black. So I'm glad to be back, everyone. Is everybody else glad to be back? I mean, if you're glad to be back, let's see some hearts flowing up here in the comments if you're glad to be back on TikTok. I'm sure we could have all kinds of theories and ways that this all went down and came back. But the bottom line is we're back. We're on the platform. Hopefully it didn't disrupt too many people. Hopefully it didn't, shake up too many lives. But
well, there's another R there. It could have been revolt.
Right. That's a good one. I like that. Okay. So when we talked about that this weekend too, didn't we? So we're talking about, replenish, right? And we talked about freedom, in that whole restoring and replenishing, and, how, the freedom basically went down. We talked about that. And you made a reference this weekend, living in your, everything on TikTok. What could you get everything on TikTok? You made a reference from a car to what? From living in your car. You made this reference. I wrote it down, but I'm going to see if you remember what you said. You talked about on TikTok just how you can get everything on TikTok, right? From living in your car to being a millionaire. There's so many different strategies and ways.
Well, restoration also always requires community, and TikTok's a community as well. Right. And there's so much good that has come out of TikTok, a lot of resilience, which is another R word, that builds up and go through hard times.
Yes.
And the thing is, people I know, I've heard of, I hadn't met personally, well, I have met a couple, but have lived in their car for a while.
Yeah.
And they get like a gym membership so they can afford or go at least clean up and exercise and get back at it. But, that to me is the type of person that I like to meet.
Right.
Because they're resilient and they're not going to quit. They're not quitters on it. And they want to go after it. So they restore their lives. And they're dedicated to get restoration on it. And it's important we have things around us, this community, that support those efforts. We cannot do it alone.
And that's what TikTok is. TikTok's a huge community, community. I've met so many beautiful, wonderful people on TikTok. I mean, the connections that I have made has just it's been amazing. So let's talk about the community side of it, and let's continue to move in our R word of replenish, restore, as you said, revolt, however we want to go about this.
Well,
but what is the community all about? What does it fill?
Well, it fills a lot of holes, for one, things that we're missing. We all have gaps and weaknesses, and we all have our strengths and our abilities to share. And the community, let's look at this like a body. All right?
Yeah.
All right. So consider TikTok a community or a body in multiple bodies. Well, what happens when you get a wound on the body?
Right.
Well, we tend to it, right? Well, when we tend to it, if it's a deep enough wound, we can't fix it ourselves. So we need people like you, Michelle, that was a nurse. We need doctors, we need stitching, or whatever the wound is. It could be burned. It doesn't matter.
Or my grandson who came home with a sprained wrist and got his first ACE wrap yesterday.
Oh, sorry. Well, that pain also reminds you of what not to do again.
Right.
And that's what's hard. It takes a whole community, and the body is like the community. All the parts go to its rescue and start healing and mending.
The mental, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual,
nutritional, praying.
Yes.
Your immunity system gets involved, and just the fellowship, the community, the support, all the efforts go into what? To mend and to heal and fix. And this is a broken world, and we all need mending, and we all need our support. We all need our mindsets checked. It's easy to pick up a virus in our in our minds that we don't know we picked up, and that can be shared with others
Yep.
on it. So we really need to look at that and make sure. And one of the things we're talking about, restore, replenish, and resources, which are things that we all need in order to restoration. But what about renewal?
Right.
Refresh and renewal. And I want to bring Romans 12:2 into this, because it says, do not conform with the ways of the world, but to be transformed by renewing of your mind.
Exactly.
So
I love that one. That's awesome, because it's absolutely
because
true.
you want to renew your mind, because you always have to get a grounding effect
Right.
into it. And that's why I teach words. Part of the words is grounding. What word grounds you back? Biblically, for me, no, it does. Being authentic or being resourceful is another one. So we use these words to command what we want and declare what we want out of the day. But we need to renew positively, because if you think about, the world drains.
Yes.
All right, so you discharge all that energy. Well, how are you going to go recharge? Where are you going to recharge and renew and restore your health, your mind?
Well, I mean, that's also who you're surrounding yourself with in your community as well. We can elaborate on that just a little bit, speaking about the community, because let's talk about it. How many people come to TikTok to get rejuvenated, or to get inspired, or to pick up a recipe, or, the community here at TikTok has been a very viable community, right? I mean, how many times have you come to it, William? How many times have you come to TikTok just because you're like, oh, you know what? I know who I follow here. I know who my community is here, and I know who I can get inspiration from. That's why TikTok is working well.
I myself follow mindset, mind therapy, a lot of those places out there that's like, I really need to hear that today.
Right.
Because when we wake up, we all face different challenges. We all have different adversities in our life, different sets of problems, and then we also have our set of joys that we want to share with other people.
Absolutely.
So, humanity likes to look at a lot of the negative things, but there's a lot of great things to share. Where can you find those great things? Who can you share it with?
Right.
Is another thing. So if I wanted to share a celebration of an accomplishment, for example, well, that's part of the body as well. Yeah. And being in the body, we all celebrate. And then when things happen to us, then we all come together to take care of the body.
Right.
So it's the symbolism in God's way of community. When we say, well, we need to fellowship, well, there's a reason for fellowship. And I'm going to go back to example, going to church. A lot of people don't think they need to go to church, but it's, they don't have to. It's not a requirement. Right. But what they're missing out on is the nurturing family to take care of yourself. And I know I've been in a lot of situations that hadn't been for my family coming to my aid, I would have been in some bad shape.
Yep, same here. I mean, if it wouldn't have been for my church community, there's been many, many times. I don't know if I could pick myself up. I've been through a lot. Been through a lot.
We like that too. Yeah. Well, see, Satan's plot is to get you isolated, get you feeling bad, and make you feel like you're not worth it, you're not worthy, and all these things. It tears apart your self-worth.
Yes, it does.
And then you get into places that you don't get restored and you get depleted. And that's what happened to me about 5 years ago when I lost my kidney and liver.
Let's remind everybody that that's why we're here. We want you to come
into our for both of us.
Yeah. We want you to come into our community.
Yeah, for both of us. Because both of us have literally, died.
Yes.
We've both been written off. Yet, by the grace of God, we're still here.
I was written off and you were for sure written off, but that's why we came together, because we want people to understand they do not have to feel that way. You do matter. And that's the whole point of why we're here, is you matter. So we want to make sure you understand how much you matter. And that comes back to our word today with replenish, restore, renew, being a community. Okay. Just to recap really quickly, we wanted you today to look at the world today as as a body, right? And when you get hit in any part of the body, and we reference this all about TikTok being shut down. But anyway, when you get hit on any part of the body, what do you need? You need a place, you need a way you can come and be restored, replenished, renewed in some way, some shape, some form. And TikTok's offered that to you guys. You know, this is a huge community here. That's why we came here. That's why we brought our podcast here. Of course, you can follow us on our YouTube channels as well to, you know, follow up with this. But what is something, let's offer one tangible piece, William. Where can they go to really start getting that renewal of the mind, of the body, of the spirit, of their emotions? Where can they go? What's one good place that they can go?
Well, I go to the source of truth, and the Word, and that's God's Word, is where I go in particular.
Absolutely.
No, it doesn't matter what religion. I'm not a religious person at all. I have a relationship with God.
Exactly.
And I just want to make sure that's clear, because religion will kill anybody faster than anything.
Yeah, I don't claim to be a religion, but I do claim to have a relationship, and I do have a relationship.
Well, that's another R word. That's important.
Exactly.
So while we're on R words, so let's talk about the things that get you out of community and pulls you away and hurts you.
Absolutely.
And it's staying in resistance, and it's staying in revenge, for example. It's also staying in
rebellion,
regret.
Yeah, regret. Another good one. Yes.
Yeah, and staying in those R words that are negatively charged, that deplete you in a faster way. And the fastest way to get renewed, and I know for me personally, because it's, you know, God's the source, and if you acknowledge that and all things stems from Him, then I need to renew through Him.
Absolutely.
At the source. You know, there's always to do that through people, but at the end of the day, it's Him. He's the source of energy.
That's right.
And if you can think of it like a battery needs to be plugged up and recharged. And where do you go get charged? Even Satan recharges through God, because he couldn't exist without God.
Oh, amen.
He just allows it for right now, whatever his plan is going to be towards the end. But the thing is renewal, restoration, replenish resources, all those things and the R side that are necessary to maintain your body, your mind, your spirit, your health overall, top to bottom. Yeah. And if you're not in a habit of daily getting into a renewal process or connecting with somebody that you're in a creative mindset, all right? So we want to talk about community a little bit, like you said. Well, what community are you in? Where are you dwelling?
Right.
And I can tell you, as if you're in those areas that have those negatively charged, you're going to be negatively charged. You're not going to get replenished. And for those who always are continuously giving to other people, your supporters, exactly, in those environments, they get depleted. Well, and I know for myself.
Right. They do get depleted. Let's talk about, and you and I have talked about this in great length and detail, because you have a class on the power of words.
Yes.
And I want to talk about the fact that people really don't understand, and I want to bring this out for so many reasons, because it is a new year. A lot of people are still stuck from last year, moving into this year. I've been listening. I've been paying attention. A lot of people really haven't seen, the insanity that they had last year, and they moved into 2025 with. So you are the product, right, of the 5 people within the circle of your community. So yes. William was talking about how if you're in that negative community, how do you move out of that community, William? Where can they go? Who can they actually start? Who should they start circling themselves with?
Oh, for me personally, I start looking for leaders. And
Why?
The leaders are on a mission. They're in vision.
Okay.
They have a place to go. They're speaking totally different. They're speaking in creation and not destruction, and they're not whining. They don't have time for that. They're time intimate people.
Right.
All right. So first and foremost, I'm going to look at the people that speak the words that build and create and restore, renew, lift up. Those type of words are important.
Absolutely.
Then I want to see what the vision is. I want to understand the vision to see if I want to align with that or not.
Are you enrolled in their vision, is what you're saying?
Exactly. Okay. And when we find people like that, there's a synergy that happens when collectively that all the people are putting together, they're speaking over it with the words in creation. The
Yes.
next thing, if you go back to Hebrews 11:1, it's faith of things of unseen that are to be. And then you line up with God's will. And that's more important because God is going to have his will done either way.
That's right. It's going to happen in his time.
It's going to happen
He's
either
going to
way, whether you agree or disagree. But,
Right.
God also wants to bless you at the same time. And if you can actually go to Proverbs 16:3, if you'll commit thy words to the Lord, then your thoughts will be established in it. And so when we go back to thought and vision, and that's where it all starts. But the very first thing is where words create.
Yes, they do.
Words destroy.
Yes, they do. Yes,
So
they do.
that's the reason why I'm teaching the class is what words are you using? And more importantly, what meaning do you have to those words?
And that's another thing. What meaning do you associate to those words? Because the way you think on those words is how you're projecting out. So we look at replenish, restore, renew all as a revitalization, right? It's, all about, building on the vitality of that, moving forward, seeing the vision, enrolling people in our vision, etc. But when you look at the negative side of it, that just takes you down another rabbit hole that you really don't want to go down. I wouldn't think you would want to go down that anyway. So you do have the class on the power of words. When is your next class coming up?
It's February 4th, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's a Tuesday.
Awesome.
I'm alternating between Tuesdays and Thursdays because a lot of people have Bible studies or other, family events for children and things like that. So I like to operate between the 2 days.
Oh, awesome. I like that. All right.
Basically it's a dinner to go out. The worth of it, I usually would charge around about $297 for a little bit longer workshop, but it's more important to me to have people start learning how to speak and communicate from their words.
Right.
And understand what they carry, the weight and the meaning on their word, when another person doesn't perceive that word as what that means, because it's tied to emotion. It's tied to events in your life, what that word really particularly means. More importantly is I look at going if it is a surface word, if it was a mind word, or if it's a heart word. And how can we use words that are...
Let's talk about surface words, because somebody's going to come up and they're going to say, what is a surface word? So
success, for example, is a surface word. All right. What does success mean? Well, success is a lot of different things, but does it fulfill you?
Right.
All right. So if you're not fulfilled from success, but you're driven by success, what's that costing you?
Exactly.
Okay. And then success is fulfillment, and fulfillment yields joy, which is a fruit of your life. So if you're misstepping and you have success on your mind, like I did, but I'm unfulfilled, then I'm not living a life that's worth living. I'm living in the negative side of ours continuously, and that will kill you.
Yes,
it will kill your marriage. It will kill you. It'll make you sick. It will cause your relationships damage, and it'll impact you financially.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, what do you have? Success. Well, what does success mean? Okay, well, it's just success. You climbed a rung. All of a sudden, you're there, and then you feel empty.
Right. Right.
Okay, well, that success means nothing unless it's fulfilling and it brings joy and peace, whatever it is, as a fruit in your life. So that's what when we get to the heart of matter. First, we got to establish what words we're using, what they mean, how to apply them, and the root of it all. We learn to communicate and share and make sure the other person understands what we're communicating through our words. And more importantly, it's a process of creation. It requires vision, requires you understanding your values, your alignment with God, or in alignment with yourself, and then also the words you speak. But in the beginning was the word. So that means in the beginning is what you speak, is the beginning of what you're creating for your life. And your results are off, then you need to start going back to the source. Because I can tell you in like arborage, that you go look at a tree, and the tree's leaves are wilting. Well, you don't go treat the leaves. Nope. You're treating the system much like Western medicine does.
Exactly.
You need to get to the root.
Got to get to the root of the problem.
You got to get to the root and do a soil sample.
Right.
And what comes out of your mouth is coming from the fruit, the soil that you're planted in and what you're receiving as nutrients.
Exactly.
So we'll go back, we'll tie this back because I know we're about running out of time, but we'll tie that back is restore, just like a tree or a well. A well actually nourishes trees because it has the water flow. It's living water to that, and it brings everything to life. Well, what well are you dipping in is another way to look at it. And is it fresh? Is it renewing? Is it re-energizing? Is it vital to revitalize your body? Or is that well polluted?
Right.
Contaminating you.
That is so awesome for today, William. Oh gosh. And I have 2 more Bible studies to do today. Hebrews 1, Proverbs 16:3. So I appreciate you on that. I did do my Bible study from last night, so I've got a lot I want to share on that later today. For everyone who joined us here, thank you for being here with us. We will be back next Monday at 11:30 a.m. You can catch our replay.
Central time.
Yes, Central Time. You can catch our replays on our YouTube channels. William, your YouTube channel is?
Inner Compass.
All right. And my YouTube channel is Show Me Nourish. You can catch the replays or, I don't think you can catch them here on TikTok. I'm not really sure about that.
I'm not sure. I'm getting ready to upload another episode with Michelle Vilsick in Signature Stages. Right. And for entrepreneurs, they're wanting to build a business. I encourage you to listen to it. Michelle's fantastic. It's a great community. If you want to learn to speak and promote your business, learn how to do that through her. I know Michelle and I are working on a business opportunity too. So if anybody's out there would like, I don't like saying side hustles, but like to build something, we're builders. Right. We're creators. We have opportunity. We have communities. When you're looking at us, you're not just looking at us. No. You're looking behind us, to the side of us, and above us at the same time.
And the thing about really you and I is that we're actually nourishing people. We're actually, taking you one-on-one as you come forward and say, hey, I'm looking to grow, I'm looking to build, or I'm looking to nourish my own health, and wellness. That is what William and I are here to do. We have 2 beautiful communities, and we're growing one right here as well. We absolutely love each and every one of you. You matter to us, and we want to continue to
absolutely
do in the best way that we can. So we love your suggestions. We want to know how we can serve you better. Next week we return. Let's see. Our letter for next week will be I.
Yep.
I can't remember what I think it's right here. I will be for inspire. So we will be on the word inspire next week. So William and I look forward to being here every single Monday. Yeah. We look forward to.
Put your comments. What would inspire you? What would inspire you to have a life that's worth living for?
Let us know what that means to you. What would actually inspire you to live the life that you're wanting to live? What is it that you need from us, or we can provide you to inspire you to move in the direction that you have a vision on? When William and I came together, our visions were a little cloudy. But as we continued to personally develop and grow and build, our visions became huge, and now we're sharing our visions with you all, and we want to continue to grow your vision. So what is that vision? What inspires you? Enroll us in your vision. We would love to know more. So put those in the comments or privately message us and let us know how we can help you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How can we serve you? And in what we offer here in our communities to uplift you to have a better life and enjoy your life. There's so many that are hurting right now, but
absolutely.
And we're just 2 people out here with a big community and a big heart that love you. Absolutely. And whatever we can do, just DM us or comment, and we'll come back to you. But come join us. Yeah. Share your vision. We got a big vision, big enough for I don't know how many God wants. So.
Right, exactly. All right. Well, that is a wrap for Mindful Nuggets today. We look forward to seeing you next Monday right here, 11:30 a.m. Central, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, and that is 9:30 on the Pacific Coast. So, William, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Michelle.
Love you. And we will see you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.